Okay, take two recording this. I already recorded this once, and something weird happened with the audio, so now I'm on my computer, my desktop computer instead of my laptop, and we're gonna record it again. I'm kind of upset right now because the audio was fine, and now it's just not fine, and that kind of sucks. But it's alright. Niggas will be alright. Okay, so the first time through, I talked about therapy yesterday. And I talked about, just what we talked about. I thought that was like kind of a productive use of my Tuesday update. So yesterday in therapy, I walk in. I'm in a pretty good mood. Got my coffee. I sit down, and my therapist is like, "So, Jonathan, how are you?" And I studied to answer, and I was like, "Dang, I don't know how I am." And it wasn't like a bad thing. It was more just like I haven't really been thinking about how I am lately. So then I just updated her on like the last 3 weeks of my life. And I was like, yeah, I'm solid. I'm pretty good. And we talked about a few things that I want to talk about that I already talked about once. First being living in the gray area. Yesterday's session with my therapist was so good, and we got through such a large volume of stuff in such a short amount of time because I hadn't seen her in 3 weeks, and she had taught me a couple things that I could work on. She gave me a little homework for the time that we were, going to be apart in 2.5, 3 weeks. And I worked on those things. And the biggest one, I think, is living in the gray area. She had taught me, and I had realized that I tend to deal in absolutes quite a lot. Somebody's either, someone who loves me or hates me. Somebody's either my friend or my enemy, so on and so forth. And I've been living in a way that kind of just lets me be in that gray area of, oh, you don't love me or hate me, you kind of just don't care about me. Or maybe you just don't not care about me, but it's also like maybe you just don't feel any sort of way about me, or you like me but you just don't want to have me around, or so on and so forth. This gray area of not love, not hate, something in between. I don't like you, I don't dislike you, something in between. You're not my friend, you're not my enemy, you're just something in between. And her putting that to me, and just me thinking about this gray area has really helped me a lot. I've become more accepting of just my role in things and people's roles in my life. So that's like the first thing we talked about. And then we touched on something we touched on like a few weeks ago in our previous session, our second session. Yesterday was our third. Where I told her, I confided in her that I feel as though I always assign my value to whatever girl I'm dating, which is very toxic. But it's something that I've done for years. And she was like, yeah, that sucks. And she made me realize that I also do that with my friends. I assign whatever value I have and how I feel about myself, I assign my self-esteem, whatever level that is, to who my friends are. And I was like, whoa. I just sat back and I was speechless. I was like, dang, I do that. And we talked about how I need to get away from that, and how I need to create intrinsic value by myself. Sorry, that was my do-rag. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Not letting a girl decide who I am and how much I'm worth, or my friends decide who I am or how much I'm worth, or my family decide who I am, how much I'm worth, or social media, or whatever, my grades, whatever. Just deciding that in myself. I know what my worth is. I know who I am. And what I've also realized, and what I talked about an hour ago, and it corrupted, was that usually when you don't decide who you are and you tether your value to the people that you surround yourself with, you become somebody different. Because when you do that, you let people tell you who you are. And oftentimes when you let people tell you who you are, they're wrong. Nobody knows you like you know you. Nobody knows me like I know me. I know me better than my mother and my father do. Blessed as they are, wise and sweet and loving as they are. I know me better than people around me know me. I know me better than my ex-girlfriend knows me. And since I know me, I know what I want to become. And I might not have it completely figured out on how to become that person, but I know myself and my patterns, and I know my discipline, and I know what changes I have to take to get there, And it was such a groundbreaking session because I always walk out of therapy feeling better. But yesterday I kind of walked out not feeling better about myself or in a better mood, but also I walked out feeling wiser. And I think, I'm finally starting to get to a point with therapy where I'm feeling as though I'm becoming more equipped to deal with day-to-day life, and I'm becoming less, self-destructive, which is the entire point of therapy. My experience in therapy has not always been the best, but I finally found a therapist that talks just the right amount, listens just the right amount, and teaches me and gives me homework that I need to be, things that I need to be taught and things that I need to learn and things that I need to work on. And I have a good attitude about it. She's cool. And also I want to learn these things. I didn't have to go to therapy this semester, but I chose to. I'm glad that I did. So what else did we talk about? Oh, we talked about spring break, which was the next thing that I talked about in the video I recorded an hour ago, and it got corrupted. So spring break is in 2 weeks from me, 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from yesterday. I'm going down to South Carolina, taking a road trip all by myself, driving 8 hours. It's going to be awesome. My parents own 3 houses in South Carolina, is one of them. I'm going to spend the week that I'm down there taking care of the house, taking care of the land, doing projects my dad didn't do when he was down there for a month, about a month ago. And I'm going to, take care of the land, spend some time alone, do manly shit like drink whiskey and smoke cigars with a shotgun at my feet, listen to some soul music on the porch, clean, take care of what God has given us, and be a good steward. My parents have taught me ever since I was little, ever since I could understand English, stewardship, stewardship, stewardship. When God gives you something, you take good care of it. God gave you a body, you take good care of it. God gave you a room, take good care of your room, make your bed, yada, yada, yada. When God gives you another house, you take care of that house. You make sure it is in good order. You make sure it is clean. You make sure that there are no, big problems with the house. So that's what I'm gonna spend spring break doing. I'm gonna spend it down south in my dad's home, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a nice trip down. It's 8 hours, but I'm gonna take a break every once in a while, like every 2-3 hours or so. Chill, stop, get food, whatever. Drink a lot of caffeine, and the drive back up is gonna be good too. I need a break. Need a break from school. Really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to being down south. I didn't. The first time I recorded this an hour ago that got corrupted, I didn't talk about how the talk with my cousin went. It went really well. Our families are not close because there's a wee bit of beef, but his father expressed to him that he wanted us to squash it. My father expressed to me that he wanted me to squash it. So we squashed it. We talked. He's cool. We have similar majors. We were born about a year and 10 days apart. So he's my buddy. We're like the same year. That's my buddy. That's my friend. He's cool. And we have a mutual friend. It's still like literally a 1 in 30 to 40,000 chance that I meet this dude. And I met him on a whim. Didn't even know who he was. And I was nice to him, which I think is well representative of my family and of my God, of me. And come to find out, he was my cousin. He's blood. And I'm going down to South Carolina in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to see family that both of us know. It's both of our families, both of our extended families. It's really cool. It's beautiful, So, what else did I talk about? The weather. Weather's great. Weather's so good. Dang, it just looks like heaven out there. But it's actually cloudy today, but it's warm. It's when I recorded it the first time an hour ago it was 56. Right now it's 58. It's overcast, but at least it's not in the teens. I hate waking up from my 9 a.m. and it's in the teens. Going to and from classes is not fun when it's in the teens. So it's weather's been better. It's put me in a much better mood. I have seasonal depression. I've gotten seasonal depression since I was like 9 or 10, and it's finally starting to melt away. It's not going to be sunny like this forever. Obviously, I think this good weather is only going to last for like a little over a week, but 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be in South Carolina, and I know it's going to be hot in South Carolina, so, just got to wait off until then. What else happened that I already talked about once? Saw my dad's father. He came in from New York this weekend. He's doing great. Chopped it up with him, had a laugh, nice dinner. Saw my cousin, his niece, my dad's cousin. She came over for din. It was awesome. Saw Malcolm, my older brother. Saw my younger sister. FaceTime my younger brother. Everyone's doing great. My mom's doing great. Oh, something I didn't talk about in the first one. I was playing basketball on Saturday, right after I talked to Jaden, and I got a blood blister under my toe, and like the blood on like the underneath my big toe on my right foot, the blood started turning blue, and like my toe like under the nail looked purple, and I was like, yeah, I already know what this is, and I knew what we had to do, so I went home. My mom and my sister worked together over like really wasn't that bad. I was going to call it painstaking, but it really wasn't that bad. Over like the course of 20-30 minutes, they did a lot of trial and error, and they ended up heating up like a little pin, and then until the pin was like literally red and steaming hot, and then poking it through the nail, and then they had to squeeze out the blood. Poking it through the nail actually didn't hurt like whatsoever. It just felt like nothing. But then they poked through, blood started gushing out, which did not help my sister because she almost threw up, and she didn't like it. She turned away. She was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "Oh, you poor thing. Oh, you see blood, and I'm in pain." Then my mom had to squeeze out all the blood, which was the painful part. It was like spraining your ankle and your ankle swelling up, and then just squeezing all the blood out of your ankle. It hurt, but toe's fine now. Probably gonna go play basketball again. Definitely need new shoes. This is the second time I've had an injury in these shoes in the last few months. So something's got to give. But yeah, what else happened? Had brunch with my dad's father, my mom's parents, older brother, younger sister on Sunday. It was awesome. Went home, saw the dog. She's great. Work's going good. Really good. Let's see. Like, work's going very good. It's very fun. A lot of new opportunities we're getting. My dad's happy. I'm happy. What else did I talk about? Honestly, I can just pull up the VOD and not the VOD. I can pull up the video and see what I talked about. That feels like cheating. I'll just go off memory. Yeah, Lent. I talked about Lent. So when I go down to South Carolina for spring break, that's going to be the second week of Lent, and I'm going to be super locked in. I think it's going to be a good way to spend, the second week of Lent. Also, is to just be alone, because I cannot stress how much this house is in the middle of nowhere. So it's going to be a really good time to just be alone in the Word, and not ask God for anything, but just give thanks. God has given me breath in my lungs thousands a day in a row. He's given me a good spine that I can walk with. I have enough. I'm a college student, for God's sake. I'm top 1% basically in the world. Time to give thanks. Spend this Lent giving thanks. Spent last Lent praying for a lot and asking God for a lot. I don't need more. I don't. I have everything that I need and much more. It's time to give thanks. And if you think that you don't have as much as you need, I'd say 80-20, you're wrong. You have more than you need. Just be thankful. Don't be thankful so God gives you more. God can see your heart. Be thankful because you're thankful. Be thankful because you could have less and you don't. Been very thankful recently. And I don't mean that to be boastful. Just stop asking for shit. I feel like I used this analogy before, but like, it's like, I was thinking this the other night. It's like, imagine if your mom or your dad or your guardian when you were younger woke up and made you breakfast and got you ready for school and then got ready for work and cleaned up all your toys and did your laundry and folded your clothes and cleaned up your room and cleaned up the entire house and cleaned up a bunch of messes that you made that you couldn't even see, and drove you to school, sat in rush hour traffic, drove to work, was late to work, got chewed out by their boss, did a bunch of painstaking ass work, drove to get you from school, sat in rush hour traffic again, drove you home, and on the way driving you home to where they but mind you, to where they got you an abundance of groceries, an abundance of your treats, and abundance of things that you like. And on the way driving you home, after going through all that, you had the nerve to ask them for McDonald's. It's basically what, asking God for more is like. Stop asking for more. Just be okay with what you have, and also be thankful for what you have, because there's a good chance you didn't have any of it. A very good chance. Or a lot of people that have a lot less than you and are more thankful than you. So be thankful. That's what I'm going to spend this Lent doing. This, I think, what might be the theme of this Lent for me. Thankfulness. Not thankfulness in the pursuit of more. Thankfulness because you're thankful. Have a good heart. Don't have ulterior motives with God. Because I can't believe I need to say this, but God knows who you are better than you know who you are. Did I talk about that? Pretty sure I did. I've been talking for 16 minutes. I can't remember everything I said. Alright. I guess that's it. So, yeah. Bye.